Hello, everybody. This is McD the Beast. This is McD Sports 4 coming to you today live. Just to recap the college football games from last night, I'm going to be honest with you. I meant to do this video last night around 11, 12 o'clock. I was sleeping. Okay, I fell asleep around 10 p.m. last night and didn't get up until about 9:30 this morning. So, sorry if you were looking forward to that video. That's why I'm going to be doing it right now. What's up, Raheem? How you doing? So, I'm basically just going to be going through the night games. If you want to see my reactions for the day games and afternoon games, go check out those videos on my channel. Also, please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Greatly appreciate if you do that. I do content on college football, NBA, NFL. I do content on everything. So we left off, I think, at the Virginia Tech Miami game. I went off on that. So that means we're going to start with the Air Force Navy game. Navy pulled off the upset 34-25. I picked that upset, and it happened. Good. Good win for Navy at home. And this is the start of the Armed Forces Bowl in the round robin tournament of it. And I think Navy, they're 3-1. I told you Navy's going to be better than what they were last year. Last year I thought was a fluke. Air Force is still a good team. They're probably going to at least go 5-3 in the Mountain West. But at the end, Navy, the game was in Annapolis, Maryland, my home state, and Navy got the win 34-25. Middle Tennessee, another game I picked as an upset. Marshall was a 4-point favorite on the road. I said Middle Tennessee was going to get this win, and they did, 24-13. Big win for Middle Tennessee at home. And I didn't watch any of it, I'll be honest, but Middle Tennessee, it looks like they were up 17-13 at halftime and then scored a late touchdown to pull away. Good win for Middle Tennessee. Marshall's still a pretty good team. They'll win a lot of games in the conference, USA. But Middle Tennessee got the win there. Baylor, they want to go 5-0 as they get a big win on the road against Kansas State, 31-12. This is a big win for Baylor. Kansas State, I don't know what happened there. I picked Kansas State to get the win there. They were 2-point favorites at home. I picked Kansas State to get the win there. They didn't. Give Baylor credit, though. They played really good. I watched the condensed game for this one already. I've watched a few condensed games, which I haven't got to most of them yet, but I watched a few of them. And this was one of them I watched because I didn't watch this game at all yesterday. And Baylor looked like the better team out there. So Baylor, give them credit. They're 5-0, 2-0 in the Big 12. I still don't think they're better than Oklahoma and Texas, but big win for Baylor. Kansas State, they're 0-2 in the Big 12. I mean, they did get that win against Mississippi State in the non-conference on the road, but that's just about it. So we'll see what Kansas State does. Minnesota finally got a convincing win as they moved to 5-0 as they beat Illinois 40-17. Listen, Minnesota fans, they've been kind of tough for me because they said that they should be in the top 25, which I'm doing right now on my phone. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at the previous top 25. Oklahoma State, SMU, they're both going to be dropped out most likely. So there's two spots right there. Washington's going to probably be moved down, maybe even dropped out, so possibly 3 spots. We'll see if you get one of those spots, but I'm not going to rank you that high if you are in the top 25 because I still don't think you're a good team. You beat an Illinois team that lost to Eastern Michigan. That's not something I will be gloating about. I mean, obviously, be happy that you got the win. Like I came up on here around 3 o'clock after Maryland absolutely destroyed Rutgers, and I know it's Rutgers, but it's a big win. 48-7. Any win is a big win for a program. Minnesota, yes, is a big win, but I wouldn't be gloating about it. Illinois, listen, you are the worst team at least in the Big Ten West. Memphis, they got the 52-33 win over UL Monroe. Good win for Memphis on the road. This game was kind of a shootout, and then Memphis pulled away there in the fourth quarter. I do think Memphis, people are saying Memphis is the best team in the American. I do want to see Memphis play some competition in the American to say that. But they did beat Navy at home. So, I mean, Navy, I do think it's one of your better teams in the American. But overall, Memphis, they look like a pretty good team. I got to watch the condensed version of that game to tell you how good I think they really are. They did give up 33, but Memphis always has a bad defense. So, we'll see what happens there. UL Monroe, they'll probably go 500 in the Sun Belt, possibly making a bowl game. Next, Troy versus Missouri. Missouri got the 42-10 win. Missouri, they won despite Kobe Bryant getting injured there late in the first half. Big win for Troy. I mean, big win for Missouri. A lot of people thought that Missouri, they were going to go ahead and maybe not cover the spread. I think the spread was 24.5. People thought that Troy could possibly give Missouri problems, and Missouri might have only came out with like a 2-touchdown win or something like that. I stayed away from this game. I didn't pick it. Obviously, I'm going to watch the condensed version of this game, but overall, good win for Missouri at home. Nebraska, they got a 13-10 win over Northwestern. Northwestern, what has happened to Northwestern? 0-3 in the Big Ten. They're 1-4. Personally, I do think Northwestern is better than Illinois at least, and maybe Minnesota, but we'll see. Nebraska, they got to win 13-10. I watched the last few minutes of this one. Nebraska, listen, I don't think Nebraska is on that level with like Iowa and Wisconsin and the Big Ten West, but I think they're just a middle of the road team. They'll probably make a bowl game most likely at like 7-5, maybe 8-4. But Nebraska, they're probably your third best team in the Big Ten West at this point. Northwestern, what has happened to Northwestern? I thought this team was at least gonna go ahead and compete for the Big Ten West division and go ahead and represent the Big Ten West in Indianapolis. What has happened to Northwestern? There's no way they're gonna win the Big Ten West at this point at 1-4, 0-3 in the conference. And Nebraska, they're 2-1 in the conference at this point because they did lose that game against Ohio State 48-7. Next game, North Carolina versus Georgia Tech. North Carolina, good win for them on the road, 38-22. Listen, I like this North Carolina team. I think they're fun to watch. I know they lost to Appalachian State earlier, but they turned around and gave Clemson a hell of a fight. It came down to a 2-point conversion. This game, it looked like I had to watch the condensed version of it. North Carolina looks like they got out 17-0 at halftime, and then it kind of came into a bit of a shootout, but North Carolina held on and won 38-22. I think North Carolina is making a bowl game this year at this point. They're 3-3 through their first 6 games. Looking at the ACC, they might be the 4th best team in the ACC behind Clemson, Virginia, and Wake Forest. And they did lose to Wake Forest by 6 points. So they definitely showed that they could kind of hang with them. I know it was kind of a comeback thing for them, but I mean, it's still 6 points. That's a 1-possession game right there. Georgia Tech, we know they're terrible. I still think they're going to win a game in the ACC this year. I still think that. I look at the ACC Coastal. I don't think Virginia Tech and Miami are good teams. Maybe look at those 2 games. Maybe they upset somebody, but I still think Georgia Tech's going to win a game somewhere in the ACC. Next game, Arizona versus Colorado. This game pissed me off. I had Colorado winning and covering. Arizona went in there and got the win. Big win for Arizona. And I thought, and listen, at the beginning of the season, after week 0, I said, I'm done with Arizona. I don't know how you could lose a game despite forcing 7 turnovers. They've really changed my mind. They're 4-1 right now. They might have to be talked about winning that Pac-12 South. The Pac-12 South's wide open. Utah, I still think is the best team in the Pac-12 South. USC, I still think they're going to be competitive. Arizona State as well. That was kind of your dark horse pick going into the season, Arizona State. Let's talk about this Arizona team. They're 2-0 in the Pac-12. They just got a win against a Colorado team that I think is decent. I mean, good win for Arizona on the road. So give them credit. This looked like it was somewhat of a shootout, but Arizona, they get the win 35-30 over Colorado. Western Kentucky, they go on the road against Old Dominion and win 20-3. I'm going to admit I did not watch any of this game, but I do think Western Kentucky is better than what they were last year. If 3-0 in the conference USA, we'll see if that's holds up. Old Dominion, listen, Old Dominion, we know they're not that good of a football team. So unfortunately, Old Dominion looks like they're going to be heading towards a 2 or 3 win season yet again. UAB, they get a 35-20 win over Rice. Rice 0-6 at this point. But listen, Rice is better than what I thought they were going to be this year. I thought they were going to be an absolute pushover. I watched parts of 2 of their games so far this year. They are not a pushover. They will play you tough, this Rice team. And this game was 21-20 at halftime, but UAB kind of cracked it open there in the third quarter, and then basically played good defense. It looks like it won 35-20. I had to watch the condensed version of this game as well, but UAB got the win there, 35-20. Next game, FIU, they pitched a shutout, 44-0 over UMass. Not FIU. Yeah, FIU. Before I said FAU for a second. FIU, Florida International. They pitched a shutout, 44-0 over UMass. Good win for FIU there. It's always good if you could pitch a shutout. And we'll see what they do. I still think they're a middle-of-the-road team in the Conference USA at this point. They're 2-3. But maybe they'll make a bowl game. Maybe they won't. I thought last year was a bit of a fluke, to be completely honest with you. So we'll see what happens. But Florida International 44-0 over UMass. We all know UMass is one of the worst teams in college football. I said they might go 0-12. They did prove me wrong and get the win, go ahead and get a win. But that might be the only win of the season. Ole Miss, they get the 31-6 win over Vandy. Listen, Ole Miss, a team that I said was going to win and cover here, and they did. Ole Miss, they're 2-1 in the SEC, and they are a little bit better than what I thought they were going to be. I watched the condensed game last week against Alabama. Listen, they were better than what I thought they were going to be, okay? I thought that Alabama was going to go in there and beat the brakes off them. And that game was competitive for about a quarter and a half. So give them credit there. They absolutely dominated Vandy here, 31-6. Vandy's one of your worst teams in the SEC, if not the worst. Tennessee might still be worse. Arkansas might still be worse, but I think Ole Miss, out of the pack of 4 I've been bringing up for the past 2 weeks as your 4 worst SEC teams, I think they're definitely on top of that, and they might even be better than like a Kentucky or a South Carolina. So we'll see where it goes. Ole Miss, of course, they're in the SEC West. It's going to be tough. They're going to probably have to pull off an upset to make a bowl game this year. So we'll see where that goes. But Ole Miss, they're definitely improving. Pitt goes on the road and beats Duke 33-30. This is a good win for Pitt. I picked Duke in this one to win and cover. Obviously, I was wrong. And Pitt got the win here. They might give Virginia a run for their money. I still think Virginia is the best team in the ACC Coastal, but Pitt might give them a run for their money. Duke might give them a run for their money as well. UTSA, they beat UTEP 26-16. Good win for UTSA in this rivalry game. I have to watch the condensed version of this one, but UTSA went on the road and got the win there. Liberty, they beat New Mexico State 20-13. Liberty, they're 4-2. They might make a bowl game at this point. They probably will, obviously, but Liberty, good win for them on the road against a pretty bad New Mexico State team. You probably wish it was probably a bigger spread, but overall, Liberty got the win. 2 more games here, I think. Yeah, 2 more games. Oregon State, they go on the road and pull off the upset, 48-31. Big win for Oregon State on the road. Listen, Oregon State's a team. What the hell just happened? Okay, well, anyways, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom if it updated or something. I don't know. There's no games today, so maybe the Twitter feed updated. I don't know, but yeah, Oregon State. They went ahead and won 48-31. Big win for them. Listen, Oregon State, a team that some Oregon State fans were telling me, that how their team was going to be better this year, how the offense was going to be pretty good, and they might pull off an upset or two. I was a big spectacle about that. But this game kind of proved them correct, actually. I did not expect them to win this game. I thought UCLA was going to win this one. I didn't pick it, but I was pretty confident UCLA winning this one by a touchdown, too. And I was wrong. So hats off to Oregon State fans. I'm willing to say that I was wrong about them because they were correct. They were going to pull off an upset or two this year, and I was wrong. Now, granted, I still don't think you're making a bowl game. I still think at best you're going 3-9, but I was wrong. You guys have a decent offense. I have to watch the condensed version of this game, obviously, but your quarterback, Luton, threw 5 touchdowns, and you guys have a decent offense, and we'll see what happens. UCLA, you guys are god awful. You guys are probably the worst team in the Pac-12. Okay, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't care about that win against Washington State. You guys are the worst team in the Pac-12. Last game, San Diego State. They go on the road to beat Colorado State 24-10. Good win for San Diego State on the road there and in the conference play. Colorado State, kind of a tough place to play. And San Diego State got a pretty good win, 24-10, 2-touchdown win right there. Colorado State is probably one of your worst teams in the Mountain West. San Diego State probably one of your better teams in the Mountain West. Gotta watch the condensed version of that game as well. The few ranked matchups that happened while I was sleeping or finishing up, rather, was number 3 Georgia versus Tennessee. Georgia got the win 43-14. Listen, I'm going to give props to Tennessee here. Out of all the games this year, this was the most prepared I've seen Tennessee look. Now, granted, they still lost, but they gave Georgia a game there in the first half. I got to give props where props is due. Jeremy Pruitt, I thought, took a step in the right direction. Georgia, listen, this is my problem with Georgia. This is my problem with Georgia right now. I think they're the number 1 team in the country. My problem is Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is way too conservative as a head coach. I mean, 3rd and 7, you're winning. You're going to be winning give up plays. I mean, you can't be doing that. Now you can do that when it's a blowout, but you can't be doing that in the first half against a Tennessee team that came out ready to play. I mean, Tennessee was up 14-10 in this one in the second half, and then in the second quarter, excuse me, and then 14-17. 14-13. So Tennessee, they were up for a good 10 minutes in the second quarter. So I think Kirby Smart's the only thing holding you guys back. I don't think you should fire him, but I think someone needs to get in his ear and tell him be more aggressive. Tennessee, listen, I think you might have a shot against Mississippi State. I'm going to come out on a limb and say that. I think you guys might have a shot against them. I think the season making on bowl games a loss, but I do think if you could beat Mississippi State, you have UAB later in the schedule. That's 3 wins for you. Vandy and Kentucky. If you can win those 2, that gets you to 5. If you can upset South Carolina, that can get you to 6. So I think there's still a path for Tennessee. I don't think they'll make a bowl game, but I still think you guys could maybe go 4-8, maybe win a game in the SEC somewhere. But Tennessee, yeah, you guys are pretty bad. But I don't think you're god awful. From what I saw today, or yesterday rather. Next game, number 25 Michigan State versus number 4 Ohio State. Ohio State wins and covers 34-10. Late touchdown there in the fourth quarter by Ohio State. There caused them to cover. Good win for Ohio State at home. I'm going to be honest with you. They will be the number 2 team in my poll. I just needed to see them beat a team in the top 25, which they did. Michigan State, I think it's a legit top 25 team. And they did, and Ohio State did just that. I do think Ohio State is the second best team in the country. They'll be number 2 in my poll. They might be the best team per se. I'm still going to give the benefit of the doubt to Georgia because I do think Georgia has the better win. But Ohio State, they're going to get their shot against Wisconsin, Penn State, Michigan. By the way, Michigan had a pretty good win yesterday. Give them credit. Give credit credit's due. Michigan. Who else do they have? Did they have Iowa in their schedule as well? But Ohio State, they're a pretty good team. They're the second best team in the country, in my opinion, at least on my poll. Let's see whatever ranked matchups happen. Texas beats West Virginia 42-31. This game pissed me off because I had West Virginia cover. I had West Virginia winning this game, and it was a 10.5 point spread. So I thought maybe West Virginia could maybe make it at least keep it within a touchdown or something, but they didn't, and and once again I lose. Texas, good win for them on the road. You have a big game against Oklahoma this upcoming Saturday, which there will be a preview for. Number 13, Oregon, they beat Cal 17-7. Cal was up for a while in this one, 7-0. I think it was 7-0 at halftime, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was. But Oregon, they exploded in the second half and we put up 17 on the board. Cal, they don't have a good offense, and Oregon gets a 17-7 win at home. Good win for Oregon. I still think Cal's a pretty good team, but overall, Oregon at this point, after watching Washington, which we'll get into here in a second, Oregon, I do think, is probably the only hope for the Pac-12 at this point. Speaking of Washington, they lost on the road against a Stanford team that I think is having a down year, 23-13. Listen, Washington, at this point, at the best, you will make the Rose Bowl. At the best, you will make the Rose Bowl. Stanford, they might have just saved their season right here. They're 2-2 in the Pac-12. I didn't expect Stanford to win the Pac-12 North, but I do think Stanford is still a decent team, and they might have just saved their season. Washington on the road, listen, I don't know what it is with Washington, but they're a different team on the road. They have a game against Arizona coming up here in the next few weeks. They might lose that one as well. I'm just saying it to be completely honest with you. They might do that, but Washington, I do think is a not that good of a football team. And I shouldn't say not that good of a football team, but I should say Washington is a team, in my opinion, that isn't as good as what I thought it was going to be. I thought Washington was going to be a top 8 team and probably in the Rose Bowl after when this all said and done. Obviously, I was wrong. I think Oregon has to be the favorite to get into the Rose Bowl at this point. Stanford, good win for them. They basically saved their season. Now they have games against I think Cal. They have to play the whole Pac-12 North, obviously, and they get some teams in the Pac-12 South. They already lost to USC. I forget who else they get. I think they get Colorado as one of their teams, but I think Stanford could save their season and maybe go 7-5. Number 16, Boise State, they got the win on the road against UNLV, 38-13. Good win for Boise State on the road. At this point, Boise State looks like the best group of 5 team. I know some people are saying Memphis. I need to see Memphis play some more opponents in the American. From what I've seen from Boise State this year, I think they're the best team in the group of 5. UNLV is a terrible team, and they absolutely took care of business in that game. Good win for Boise State there on the road. And then the last ranked opponent, SMU, and 3 overtimes. I gotta watch the condensed version of this one because this game was. It looks like SMU came back from a 30-9 deficit and won in 3 overtimes. SMU got the win, 43-37 and overtime. Big time win for SMU right there. SMU, in my opinion, is a very, very good team. I think SMU could seriously make some noise in the American. This is a big time win right there for SMU. Big time win. Tulsa is actually not that terrible of a team. They're playing their opponents tough. They'll win some games in the American, but SMU is just a better team. And speaking about the American, I do want to recap Thursdays and Fridays games real quick. Georgia Southern, they got the win against South Alabama 20-17. They didn't cover the spread, which pisses me off, but they did get the win nevertheless. Next game, Temple versus East Carolina. Temple got the 27-17 win, and this one, the lights went out in this game in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened there, but Temple, they got the win there. Temple's a pretty good team. They beat my Terps earlier this year. They have a pretty good defense up there in Philly. Next game, the two Friday games, the one ranked opponent I played during the weekdays. Number 18, UCF, they got upset by Cincinnati 27-24. I picked UCF in this one to win and cover. I was wrong. In the preseason, though, I did pick Cincinnati to win this game. So I definitely give Cincinnati a shot in this one, and they came through 27-24. Listen, Cincinnati, I wasn't that high on them at the beginning of the season after I saw them play UCLA because I thought that they looked a bit flat in that game. Obviously, I was wrong. They looked like a lot better team against UCF. They'll make some noise in the American. It's gonna be a fun year in the American. It's wide open. UCF, there's no way they're in the top 25 at this point. If they are in the top 25, there will be a rant tomorrow in my reaction to the top 25. Next game, New Mexico versus San Jose State. The other game on Friday night. San Jose State got the win here, 32-21. New Mexico made it kind of interesting. I did have this game on. San Jose State, though, just looked like a much better team than New Mexico. So let's see what you guys are saying in the comment section right now. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully Terps beat Purdue. I hope they do. I hope they do, Raheem. I really do. I think we will. I don't think Purdue's that good of a team. I think they're pretty banged up personally. But it is their homecoming, so that does concern me some. But I think we'll go out to West Lafayette and probably win a close one. Tiger Raven, what up, buddy? I stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch the Stanford-Washington game. Stanford upset the Huskies 23-13. Yep, I went over that. That is a pretty disappointing watch. A pretty disappointing result for Washington. Right there. That's not good for Washington at all. Raheem, they are overrated. Claim Thorson left. That's why. Yeah, I mean, Washington, they do seem overrated. I have to agree with that. Good morning, Common Dude. How are you doing? The quarterback is hurt. Are you talking about Stanford's quarterback is hurt? Because I know Costello was hurt earlier in the year. Is Washington's hurt as well? But overall, I just want to. Oh, for Purdue, yeah, their quarterback is hurt for Purdue. Yeah, Purdue. Rondo Moore is out. Their secondary is banged up, and the quarterback's injured. I'm probably going to pick Maryland to win that game by 7 to 14 points. It is their homecoming that concerns me, some right there. But I do think that Maryland will go up there and get the win. I think it's a 12 I think the game is at 12 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. And I don't know if that game's going to make the cut for Wednesday's pick'em, but we'll see. But I do think Maryland will get the win in that one. But basically, that's all I want to talk about, the games from last night, because I fell asleep. I had to watch and get some more condensed versions of some of these games. So I'll get to that. And that's all I have. If you have anything else left in the comment section, I'll stay around for another minute or two. But after that, I'm going to turn this off, do some homework because I'm a college student. Not Maryland, though, community college. And then I'm going to be watching these NFL games, and I'll give you a reaction to my Tennessee Titans at around 4 or 5 o'clock or whatever. Ian Book's 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I forgot to talk about that game. Notre Dame, they shut out Bowling Green. I think it was 52-0, if I wasn't mistaken. Yeah, but Ian Book, he looked pretty good. I gotta give Notre Dame credit. They're better than what I thought they were going to be this year. They're probably going 11-1 at this point, Notre Dame, but everybody's saying that. So, yeah. But Notre Dame, I think they'll be in Michigan this year. And I think they'll go 11-1 and make. I don't think they'll be in the playoffs per se because I think at this point Notre Dame has to go 12-0 to make the playoffs. But I do think Notre Dame, they could make. They probably will be in a New Year's Six bowl. And the only question for Notre Dame is which one is going to be the best win, Virginia USC, or Michigan. That's the only question for Notre Dame. I'll be there for the NFL one. Yeah, I'll see you there, Raheem, for the NFL one. But I'm going to be wrapping this one up. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe if you're not already. Greatly appreciate it if you do that. You won't regret it if Notre Dame makes playoffs and makes it to finals where people have respect. Absolutely, absolutely, without doubt. I think Notre Dame has the talent to beat some of these top teams. But I don't think they could beat Clemson. I don't think they could beat Alabama. I don't think they could beat Georgia, even though that game was close. I don't think they could beat Georgia. I don't think they could beat Ohio State. LSU is probably a toss-up. That's where I am right now with Notre Dame. And listen, Notre Dame, they're probably kind of lower on the polls than they should be, honestly, but that's because they have one loss. But once they beat Michigan and USC coming up here down the pipe, which I am projecting them to do, they'll be moving up in the polls. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks for watching, and this is McD the Beast here signing off.